The first test for SCP-093 is the blue test. The subject is D20384, male, 34 years of age, with a strong physique. Subject's background shows instance of murder, attempted suicide. Subject is cooperative in all steps of testing. Subject entered the provided mirror whilst holding SCP-093, which emitted a blue colour. Outside technicians observed that the mirror retained a true reflection until subject had completely passed into it, at which time the view changed to an outdoor landscape heavily tinged in blue. Video feed follows in attached media. Camera activates, flickers to view. Subject is looking out over the same field reported by technicians. Looks like typical lowland plains. Everything has a heavy blue tinge overlapping the normal colours. No discernible landmarks visible as subject pans view left to right, only grass, weeds and a breeze moving the taller grass. No trees, no living beings visible. Subject moves forward as instructed, travelling for approximately 500 steps before something becomes visible. A patch of the land up ahead is barren, and grass can be seen dying as the subject approaches it. Approximately 300 steps forward, subject is standing before a hole in the ground. The hole is being dug using unknown tools of primitive origin. Pulley system engaged. And the camera suffers a light shudder. Subject is instructed to enter the hole, and after mild protesting agrees to do so. There is no apparent method of descent, such as a ladder or a rope. Subject relies entirely on his own hands and the pulley system to slow the descent. Approximately 100 metres of cable is used before the bottom is reached. The light source provided in field kit activated 50 metres down, when outside source becomes unreliable. Sweeping gestures of the light reveal nothing more than dirt, even at the bottom of the hole. Subject moves forward with the assistance of light source. Asked about the blue tinge, subject expresses confusion and says there is no tinge from his perspective, and never was. Light is visible down the passage, and 150 metres of cable has been used. Out of the camera's eye, sound is recorded of the firearm being repaired. When questioned about these actions, subject states justified precaution and moves forward. The tunnel turns from bare dirt to a concrete enclosure. Subject complains of a stench. The light source is revealed to be ceiling fixtures, a series of which, with less than a quarter broken with the others function. A series of 6 doors, 3 to a side, span before the camera, with a 7th visible at the end of the corridor that is being blocked by what looks like a generic metal shelving debris. Debris shows signs of rusting and is typical retail store unit, suggesting other human presence. Subject requested to try doors, in whatever order he chooses. Subject tries first door on right, second door, tries to open, but does not budge, unlocked but blocked. Closing second door, third is tried, same results as first. Going up to the other side, the third door does open fully and light is bright in the room. Portable light switched off this time as subject pans camera to inspect room. Room is bare, no contents, but walls are filthy. Subject states material on walls isn't dirt, but he can't identify it. Seems to resemble melted plastic, but is brown in colour rather than black. Door is closed. Second door on left side has no handle, does not move when pushed. The hole where the handle is visibly plugged by unknown materials. All doors are shaped in such a way that nothing can visibly escape from the sides, and space for movement is too thin to look through even at ground level. First door on left hand is broken, is locked. but part of the key is present in lock. From stem to the ridges, the back has been broken off. With effort, subject manipulates key to open door. And immediately begins coughing, complaining of a stench. Walls of room are clean as is floor. Ceiling is coated in strange brown material as the third room. In this room there is a makeshift cot made from aged blankets of a pillow, a wooden crate containing open boxes of what appears to have been foodstuffs. Language appears on video as squiggles, however subject states they simply read cereal. The second crate in the room contains what appear to be empty water bottles that have dried out. A book lays next to the cot, closed, no title or identifying marks. On the wall is what appears to be clipped articles, but language cannot be read. Subject is asked to remove clippings for retrieval. All articles but one crumble at the touch due to age. The intact article is put in a filled sample container and seems most recent compared to the others. Asked to investigate the book, the subject begins to move towards it. Audio on the tape is strange, and a high-pitched screeching noise like grinding metal dominates all communication for 3.5 seconds. Subject has not touched the book still, and when the noise stops, subject asks Control to repeat request. Control made no request during that time as headsets were removed. Subject advised to leave room and notes that the door has begun closing slowly on its own, and if left alone will close. Subject advised to leave the door alone and to investigate door on the right. Careful review of the following 10 seconds of tape shows as the camera pans, a figure is visible at the end of the tunnel where the 7th door is. The door is open only enough for a face to be seen with a crack just before the door silently closes. No details can be seen. Subject investigates the second door on the right with no mention of anything seen out of the ordinary. The door, when pushed against, moves, and after repeated bashings, moves enough to view inside at an angle. A corkboard is visible with more articles attached to it. The top of a box of cereal can be seen on the floor, and what appears to be a hand laying palm up. Subject closes door and pans camera past door 7, which remains closed. Seeing nowhere else to explore, subject requests to return. Subject poses no protest and complains of ever-increasing stench. As subject returns back down tunnel, his camera feed does not change or show anomaly, but Control reports a sudden surge in cable movement, pulling an additional 100 meters of cable through before going slack again, and then tightening. Video feed shows subject ascending tunnel slowly while Control attempts to verify integrity of the pulley system. Subject requested to stop ascent but states he is not climbing, the rope is pulling him up. Panic. Upon reaching top of hull, nothing is visible on camera. The subject reports nothing has changed in landscape, then begins return trip following the path of the cable. Travelling for approximately 900 steps, subject asks how much cable he has used. Control admits they are unsure due to complications. The subject travelled in a straight line to reach the hull, so it should be a straight line back. Subject becomes concerned when he states more cable is visible now, moving at a 90-degree angle away from the point in the ground. Subject pans camera around full circles slowly. On film, behind subject, a crowd of 37 countable figures stand silently. Features are identifiable, and they are lacking the blue tinge that dominates the landscape. Panic breaks in Control again, but the subject notes the only oddity as being the cable having an angled path. Subject tugs his end of the cable. It is taut and does not move. Control begins to reel in the pulley system, and slack rapidly winds. Watching the angled cable movement can be seen as grass is disturbed further down the angled portion from the reeling. Then the line vibrates as it meets resistance and emits a twang from the recoil. Subject's camera pans back along the length of the cable, which now appears to be slowly allowing more slack, before suddenly all slack is returned and the pulley system begins again. Control requests subject return following cable path and screams a call from the audio with panic from subject. 5 shots fired, a subject aims pistol at something not visible on camera. Control reports being able to see subject returning toward point of origin, while camera shows wire disappearing into a point system floating in the air. As subject passes this point, all cable is now in the pulley system, and camera films only the floor. Control reports that the mirror took approximately 5 seconds to return to reflection, and SCP-093 remained blue in colour until 1 hour after being recovered from the subject. A vile smelling fluid was present on subject's clothes around his hands when firearm was recovered. The fluid dried quickly and was deemed insignificant and studied due to lack of quality sample. Control personnel monitoring the mirror state, having seen a massive human being crawling on the ground, easily 50 times the size of a normal person, with no facial features and a very short arm reach, pulling itself towards the mirror before it returned to a reflection. Due to proximity, fine details cannot be made out, but at least one observer noted the being appeared to have been shot from the marks its otherwise smooth, featureless face. Field tests recovered from the subject containing a newspaper article that reads, "Expunge," and was filed as item data expunged. The next test is classified as the green test.